He's the guy that has been sneakily behind the scenes helping build billion-dollar brands. Over a dozen plus 2 Comma Club funnels. He even helped raise $100,000 for a client just because he could. He's helped his clients scale their funnels to $1 million.
I've been working on that stuff since it was a project in the basement. I was there.
Like at the beginning, at the inception. And I'm jealous. Dude, I've hired you multiple times. You're very good at what you do. Do you love your work?
I'm obsessed.
You've seen data on not just the funnels, the communities, the offers. If I'm hiring you, I'm buying certainty.
Your launch is coming. I got you.
Yeah.
Impossible deadline.
Right.
Huge task. I thrive under pressure. I win under pressure.
Welcome back to the Golden Mic. I'm here to introduce Mr. Jimmy Allen. Welcome back to the Golden Mic, everybody. Today, I'm here with, I don't even know how I want to introduce you, bro. Someone I've known for a while, but it was like we knew each other for a long while and then didn't know each other. Like we did a little work together and there was like a gap and then we become very good friends. He is someone that is not only a client of mine, I'm also a client of his, and I speak very, very highly of his work. He has helped fundamentally change our approach in business on some funnels and things, which we'll get into. He is the guy that has been sneakily behind the scenes helping build billion-dollar brands and been involved in a lot of things behind the scenes that you'd never know of, but like he has all the knowledge and the data and like the brilliance behind it. He has been involved with over a dozen plus 2 Comma Club funnels and seen the ins and outs of working of those. He even helped raise $100,000 for a client one time, like just because he could. He's helped his clients scale their funnels to $1 million. He's married. He's got 1 child, 1 on the way. Apparently, he was an atheist for like 9 years of his life, which we won't hold it against him, but we will find out. With that, I'm here to introduce Mr. Jimmy Allen. Welcome to the Golden Mic, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
That was a lot.
I'm realizing how much life I've lived.
It's a lot of life, right?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I just turned 30 last year, so 30. Yeah.
30? You're 30? You
Yeah.
turned 30. When's your birthday?
September. Is the IRS listening? I'm just kidding. So, it's September 26th. Yeah.
I don't know. Is that a...
What? Sorry, that was really.
Are you doing shady stuff,
No.
Jimmy? Dang.
Gosh.
Gosh.
Who's gonna look at me? Do you need like my pet's first name now? Like,
Yeah, right.
Right.
And the last 4 of your social. But no, for real, it was like 20, I don't know, 18 maybe, 17. It was a while ago that we connected with on Todd's Instagram account, I think it was what we were working on at the time. Right?
Yeah.
This is back in my Instagram days.
Yeah, actually, I was running Todd's social, and like you were a huge catalyst in that because like we like figured out like brand, voice, tone, like how are we gonna like actually produce content for this? But it wasn't until you came along that like you were like our catalyst for traffic and how we were actually like getting into scale. And so, yeah, you were instrumental in all of that.
Well, that's good to know. I appreciate it. And for those of you that have no idea what we're talking about, why don't you tell us who Todd is and who you are a little bit and give us some context because you're like cool, but no one knows you.
Yeah. Okay. So I think a lot of people know that like there's like Russell Brunson's the face of ClickFunnels. Yeah. Todd Dickerson is his co-founder and partner in ClickFunnels. And the reason like I'm so like buddy with Todd is actually because Todd and I are family. Like he's my brother-in-law. He married my sister.
Oh, no way.
Like he married.
I didn't even know that.
You didn't know that? Okay. So it was like.
Oh, I see how it is. So you're not actually legit. You just married into it. I'm just kidding.
No, because they married before ClickFunnels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the thing is that I've been working with him since like for like ClickFunnels. I've been working on that stuff since it was a project in the basement with him.
Wow.
And I went out, well, basically I graduated high school. I turned 18 and then Todd was like, hey, I know you're going to go study computer science. Do you want to come out and like intern in this office? We're flying out to Boise, Idaho. And I was like, yeah, sure. When are we going? And he's like, tomorrow. I was like, oh yeah. Okay, let's go. So there's this old website, codeschool.com. They maybe still teach people. But I downloaded all the PowerPoint slides. I learned as much as I could, and I fly out, and it's like, oh, there's this guy like in like cargo shorts and a tap out wrestling shirt, and he does internet marketing, and Todd does computer science and websites, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll figure this out. And that.
You were literally there. Sorry, yeah.
No, I was there.
Like at the beginning, bro.
At the beginning.
Inception.
Yes.
Man, I'm jealous.
Yeah,
like,
Russell actually like gave me a shout out from stage. He was like, "Who's the first like FHL like over a decade ago?" And I'm sitting in the front row and like raised my hand. He's like, "Jimmy was there." I was like, "Yeah, I was there."
So you work in Atlanta now, though, right?
Right. Yeah, we've always been in Atlanta. ClickFunnels has always been like remotely distributed around the globe. Yeah.
But you have 2 main offices.
Yeah. Well, okay. So this isn't like out there information, but basically like Russell's got a company, Prime Mover now. Prime Mover is Boise. Todd, like they're all still partners on it. It's all
right.
Like, but for like literally like pretty much accounting. Like I'm pretty sure accounting is like a really strong reason here.
Yeah.
But like ClickFunnels has an office. The CFHQ is now Atlanta. We're like an hour north of the city.
Gotcha. Which I think, by the way, we're not going to make it about that, but I think that was a brilliantly smart move as someone who is, you know, a diehard. I mean, I'm ClickFunnels, bleed ClickFunnels, like that's my people. So, I mean, I joke about, you know, things like that, but like I'm team ClickFunnels, right? And but I think that was a very significant move, more than just internally for those of us that like watch and pay attention, as far as like having, you know, like having ClickFunnels be ClickFunnels and having Russell be, you know, with that. I'm like, it just feels right. Like it needed to happen, right? And as someone who wants to be like, know that like the thing I'm promoting is just doing the right thing, it's like all is well with the world, right? It's like so good, and it's been really cool to watch the rebrand of ClickFunnels and all that. And I know you're involved in that, but yeah. So that's you.
That's me. Yeah.
In a nutshell, that's how we got, or that's some context of you at ClickFunnels, right? And you've been working with Jim or with Todd for how long? Has it been then 10 years?
Dude, I was 18. I was 18 when he was like, he knew that like, okay, I built a web app with him like as practice, and then he was like, "Hey, I'm building this software platform, and I need help with like these HTML and CSS templates and stuff." Like the original like beta program of like templates that needed to go into that app of ClickFunnels. Like I built those templates, or like helped him build those templates and like do the HTML and CSS and stuff like that. So like that cool. Started it.
Wow, that's real. I didn't realize that you went that far back, which I guess makes sense. But also, dude, I've hired you multiple times. And like, you're very good at what you do, right? And I'm like, not saying that just because we're like, you just genuinely are. I wouldn't keep hiring you. And you know how like when you work on your own thing, you will make sure that it's like every little detail. It's like, because you have to, it's like, you know it at that level of detail and more. And I think that's very rare. And one of the reasons that I was excited to talk to you about like on this is to hear more about how like your mind works and how you've developed your frameworks, your models, like how you make decisions and things, right? Because correct me if I'm wrong, it would seem as though you've had a very unique position or seat, right? Experience, right? In the building of, or in the, you know, in the insider of ClickFunnels, right? And the clients that come with that, and the, you know, getting to see behind the scenes, I'm sure you've had to keep a lot of stuff just buttoned up, and I'm sure that's,
dude, it's the hardest thing in the freaking world.
Yeah.
It literally, I was talking like, ClickFunnels has just announced Offer Lab. Offer Lab is something I've known about for like going on like 4 months now, and that is one of the hardest. I mean, it's a revolutionary technology. And you have to not talk about it, literally, because not because it's like, oh, it's secret, like hush hush, don't talk about it. Like, no, there's like competition, there's first mover advantage, there's like people who have it out for us, and don't want us to succeed, and it's like you can't talk about it until it's time, and like finally it's time, and but a lot of the stuff that I do is like 4 to 6 months out, so I have to be quiet about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, I bet. What's like, do you like that? Like, do you like that you're in there early though?
Yeah, I like it. I just wish I could talk about it more, because like everything is exciting.
Yeah.
Like everything I do is very exciting. And it's exciting because of the impact. Like one of the driver, like a core driver in my life is like, of course, because all of my working career has been around Russell and Todd.
Yeah.
And their surrounding network, and all the people who are like, they're impact driven entrepreneurs. And of course that disseminates down like into me. And now I'm like, okay, we're going to build, like, we're doing Golden Mike. Like, I'm building a podcast around like impact, change, transformation, how service providers going out and helping people and like making better humans.
Yeah.
Like that's everything.
Right. And you know how like people can say that, and then there's people that mean it, and then there's people that are it, right? It's like at your core, like it just exudes out of you. You know what I mean? It's like, that's how you make this. It's how you act. It's how you think. It's how you think about the world. Right. Which is really cool. And it's cool that you've been able to actually, let me ask, what's it been like as like you have a 9 to 5, right? But are also entrepreneurial and things, but the 9 to 5 that you've had, I'm sure is not a normal 9 to 5, right? So what's that dynamic been?
Yeah. Working in this environment, and like, it demands excellence. Like it demands like a different level. Like we've always talked about. So earlier I said that, you know, ClickFunnels hires and it's remotely distributed, but that also gives us the opportunity to work with like the top tier of top tier talent. So it demands excellence because everyone you work with and associate with is an A player, and like our top customers are A players, and so everyone you network with, your colleagues, like all this stuff, like we're all playing at the top of our game. So that makes the position a little more like results oriented than like time oriented, if
Mm,
that makes sense.
yeah.
Like if I can go deliver massive results in 4 hours, then like obviously like the value is there. Like
Right.
go get the results in 4 hours. Don't just like give me inputs for
Right.
8,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you love your work?
I would say that like I'm obsessed with it.
Okay.
I'm obsessed.
Okay. Because of course you are. With that, I feel that I know for me, when I became an entrepreneur, it was like I wanted control because I didn't like my life. Not like I had a horrible life or anything. I just didn't like I felt out of control, like I had no money, I was in a bubble and you know what I mean, like trapped like
Yeah.
physically and like with money and all. And so like the reason I broke out, I was like, I will never have a boss. I will never have anything. Is because I didn't have an environment that allowed me to go and thrive and do and control and do. It sounds like you have that, right?
Yeah, a little bit
A,
of
a
that.
lot more.
Yeah.
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 And even in the areas that you don't, like being aligned with people that have such similar values. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So why do you want to do anything else? Like why are you doing your own thing at all outside of it?
To amplify change.
Mm,
Yeah.
tell me more.
So in the mission of amplifying change, basically like there's this like stuff that I work on in the realm or like the world of ClickFunnels, and that goes out to entrepreneurs who have families, employees, customers. Those customers have families. Like so, the ripple effect of change there is really really massive. But there's like locality and like proximity. There's people who come to me, and it's weird. Like it's honestly been like 7 or 8 years now that I've had like essentially like a side hustle of like a funnel building agency, because people come along and they want that. They want to drive that impact and change in their business. They want to leverage ClickFunnels as the tool to make it happen, but they need help. They need to be able to collapse time. They need to leverage my knowledge and information so that they can get those results faster and amplify change faster.
Yeah. And like what you know and offer as Jimmy, ClickFunnels does not offer as a service or a thing. Like they have
Correct.
the tools and like
Yeah.
because they can't, right? It's not but you have this ability to I like how you said that. It's like they use your knowledge to the amplify. That's really good. I like that's well explained.
Coming soon to an offer near you.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
yeah. Oh, and he was in the
spicy.
camera.
Yeah,
And
I
everything.
did,
Let's go.
yeah.
All right, Jan, go make sure to put that right. Pull it right in. What do you do at ClickFunnels though?
Ooh, okay. So I get asked this a lot. And you know how some people will be like, oh, I do a little bit of everything. I literally do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Now it's all focused on like the product. So we'll talk about the software. It's like, what should we build? How should we build it? Like the qualities, right? Like I'm not like I know some code. I speak developerese, right?
Mm.
I can like level with them at some point, but like I'm not gonna tell them how to like run their database. I'm not gonna tell them how to write their tables or like their methods or anything like that's not how. But like how is like this should do this because the business owner is trying to achieve this, right?
Mm.
So I help
Ooh.
advise and like does like so I advise on like the design, the development, and things like that. So I help build a better ClickFunnels.
I'm not, I mean, I know coding very, like, I understand the concept of coding, not a coder. Don't know the first thing about actually coding. Is it a coder in the language of coding versus front facing customer and the business owner what it needs? Are they like two completely different languages? Meaning, are you a middleman to basically be
Yeah,
like, yo, what they
dude.
want is this? What it means is like this word.
So it's actually really funny because if you take the business outcome that a ClickFunnels customer wants and you just like lay it on the desk of a developer, you will get a tool that is like it will functionally do its job, but the experience is disjunct, unorganized. Like you got to hunt down stuff. It's not thoughtful. I'm not trying to like I'm not trying to rag on developers. That's their
Right,
brain.
right,
Their
100%,
brain
right,
is like the wires go here, it plugs in here. Like I don't understand what the issue is. It's like,
right,
well, I didn't want that. I wanted the remote that did the thing for
right,
like
right,
right.
yeah,
So so yeah, you do. It takes. I'm not gonna call it hand holding, but hand holding might be like the best description of it,
Okay.
you basically have to like steer them into like, hey, I know it's a little more work, but you have to be thoughtful. Like this is concierge, this is experiential.
Mm,
This isn't Android, this is Apple.
mm. Yeah. Well, and like if you don't speak the language though, like it would be like me trying to create a sales program and like someone that has never literally like have no concept of what sales is, like trying to go through my stuff. It'd be like you'd be like, Hold on, Josh. Like we gotta like hold on, come on, like we gotta make it so simple. So you know what I mean? Like make it like that. It's almost like that, right? It's the you're the middleman, and you make it happen. Yes.
Yeah, like glue, like engine oil. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So if I am a client of yours or a potential client of yours who's listening right now, I have no idea what I should hire you for. And you have a really good pitch right now, which is you're gonna leverage my brain power to like amplify your thing, right?
Yeah,
No freaking clue what that means though. So what problem do you solve? And why would I come to you?
I think a little bit of context is helpful here. Like I've worked on so many different offers and so many different like mechanisms for offers. And so for anyone who's like unfamiliar with the industry, that's like I've worked on webinars, I've worked on auto webinars, I've
Mm.
worked on challenges, I've worked on book funnels, I've worked on tripwires, I've worked on reverse fly, like whatever, I don't know, whatever like fancy names that we're gonna make up all the jargon about that stuff. But basically, when you and I got together, I was like, okay, I have to pick one. And it has to be like in alignment with my big idea. It has to be in alignment with my why, like the impact that I want to change on people. So I settled on course and community and ended up developing like a really good solution for people where like you have a high value skill and you go out and like it doesn't matter if it's health and like you're resetting people's shoulders and like helping them through grueling PT, or you're like helping them shed fat, build muscle, or like you're helping them build a business, you're helping them earn their first dollar on their online, or you're adding a zero to go from 7 to 8 figures, or like relationships, you like, dude, you have trouble communicating. Like you don't actually like stand up for yourself. You don't relate well to yourself, or you don't relate well to other people outside of you. And we need coaching to figure out how to actually be a better human. Like it doesn't matter like what that facet is that somebody out there needs the change that you can bring them with your high value skill. My job is to coax that out and actually get that. I call it the minimum effective dosage of information needed for transformation, because you can throw the textbook at them, but they're not going to read it.
Yeah, and it's like if you sell transformation on your sales page, you better deliver, right? And it's like delivering transformation is very different than selling it, right? Or like just saying it, right? Oh yeah, we did, right? And actually having a model that supports that. Yes.
So the model that you need in order to support that is that you can't just give them a course, because humans are humans. And dude, the dog kicks over your coffee mug in the middle of you trying to figure out like how to build your funnel online. You're taking one of Russell's courses, and it's like the doorbell rings and the pizza guy's here and the kids come running downstairs, and it's like, oh, well, I gotta stop working. I'll pick this back up tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next Thursday. Next Thursday becomes, next month. And we're humans, right? But like what we bolt on to that to ensure like you basically make it certain that you're going to get that transformation is the community aspect. So you get that accountability, you get your social, your proximity to other people who are going through that same transformation experience and getting the results. And you see you're constantly hitting that motivation, that accountability, that increased certainty. And so you need the information for the transformation, but you need that community in order to actually drive you over the finish
Yeah.
line.
Well, and with particularly with coach, coaching, learning, and education, as the business owner, as the coach, coaching also or having the community allows you to remove you in a lot of ways. Like not in the like not like remove you in the sense that I don't want to, but like your community is there to support it, right? Like you don't have to answer every question. Like you're educating your community, right? And like they can get support and encouragement from one another,
It's
right?
like
It's like
compounding support, basically.
yeah,
Compounding accountability. So it's like because like in the beginning, it's going to be you, right? And
yep,
everyone's there for you,
yep,
right? Because you're the face, you're the person.
yep.
But all of a sudden, it's like you can start leveraging other people's success
Uh,
and leveraging their results, and then that all of a sudden becomes that like guiding beacon light, or like lighthouse in the dark that's like, okay, well, like I get it, like Jimmy can do it, but what about Molly? What about Jeff? What about John? Like, look
Yeah.
at those people, you know?
Yeah. And like that, like you said, the social, like they literally look around them. And when I was, so I would used to launch Facebook groups, right? And it was
Yeah.
at the beginning, like, bro, every member that came in, like you had to answer every question and you had to go through and like, right, like literally train each person basically. And then we put in like 5-day challenges or like videos that would educate on the model, right? And it was like you had educate, but you were still answering every question. But then somewhere between like the 1,000 member mark and 2,000 in free groups, like 1,000 member mark ish, it was like the community started to like self educate, right? And it was like then you got to go be you a little bit more, and then like at the $3,000 mark or the 3,000 member mark, it was like right, like whoa, and that process was really really cool to see. The problem was is that I I knew how to do that, but I didn't like other people didn't. I didn't know how to tell other people to go and duplicate that. Like people would come and they'd be like, "Oh, you could just automate your launch." I'm like, I don't know how to explain to someone how to do what I just did with that group. I just have to go do it for them, right? Like be in there. And I'm like, I feel like that right there is the solution that you bring. Like you bring a solution to where like you actually know what you're doing with that, right? Because you have, correct me if I'm wrong, like you have data, you've seen data on not just the funnels, the communities, the offers, does that make sense? Right. And that's really, I don't like as a business owner, if I'm hiring you, yeah, I might hire you someone to build a funnel and they might do a really great job, but I'm buying certainty. And if I can buy everything that comes with like everything the funnel's feeding into, and I know that it's going to be done, right? Like that right there from someone that actually knows what they're doing is insanely valuable.
Yeah. I agree. Right. I'm
Yeah.
not to like, where's my own horn so I can like not blow it.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah.
love you.
Oh yeah. No, it is. It's invaluable. Like I actually remember making my first dollar. I actually sold an $1,800 offer to somebody the very first time I did it. And it was so cool because like I just followed like what Russell taught me to do. And by the way, I was like 18 or 19. I was probably like 19 when I did this. And I sold them, drum roll please, unlimited sales funnels. Oh, are you rolling your eyes yet? Yeah. Yeah. You see
Move me
what's going
away
on
from
here?
you.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
shameful.
Shame for
Dishonor
$1,800 total,
dishonor to my cow, dude.
like one
Yep.
time,
One time, baby.
forever. Are you still under
That
contract?
that dude's still out there. So no, man,
I'm
we got to like
No, I know.
4 or 5 months and like, dude, month one, you're like, this is amazing. I just made $1,800. And then month
Yeah.
two, you're like, okay, yeah, Chick-fil-A's starting to chalk down on that. And
Yeah.
month three, you're like, I messed up.
Yeah.
I messed up. I messed up big. But
Yeah.
you're 19. So anyway, my point in that is like it was so cool to like follow some instructions and like nail it the first time. This is the first time I ever asked anyone for money online.
Mm.
Ever.
And it was $1,800.
Yes.
All right, I'm unrolling my eyes. That's impressive.
No,
All right.
it's impressive, but it was such a huge flop,
Oh,
dude.
yes, but it was $1,800, dude. The first one
Yeah.
I ever made online was $20. So you got me beat by $1,780.
Yeah, but you got in and out, didn't you?
I mean, I made a post on Instagram, so that's true.
Yeah.
But still, $1,800. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
No,
We
it's
all
fun.
look-
It's a really great learning experience.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. On that note, I want to get to know you a little bit better. And I think for like when I hire people to help on projects or like service like things, I like to know where they've not messed up. Like I like to know them and like maybe some of the hardships they've overcome or like things that have defined them because when my back is against the wall, I mean, like Jordan Peterson talks about, like it's literally in your DNA. Like if your back is against the wall and you literally have to make something happen, like DNA, like things at a DNA level get released in your body that like only under that much pressure are like released, right? It's like challenges shape things or mistakes shape things. And one of the things that I think when people are like, oh, everything's good and happy, like you're a very positive person, right? That sometimes people can, oh, really? You're not?
My dear wife is probably gonna watch this and she's gonna go, yeah, he's a real positive person. But
All
no,
right.
no,
Well,
no, I would say like, oh yeah,
he's
the
got a good reputation.
yeah, broad strokes. Broad strokes. I'm
Optimistic.
like optimist. Yeah, okay, yeah. I like to yes. Optimistic. I have faith in humanity. I have faith in God. I believe in Jesus. Like that's all good. Like, but sometimes I'm like just like a robot. Some of the guys, like some of my friends are like Gym Bot 5,000. Like you and so analytical and like they'll ask a question and like without a blink or anything, I'm just like, the answer is this, blah 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 blah, and like, so yeah.
Doesn't make you not a positive person. It makes you factual. But neither here nor there. I'm on your side, bro. Okay, but neither here nor there. My question with is where, like, what is a challenge that you've faced, a roadblock that you've faced that like it was a problem, right? Like it was something that like it set you back or it prevented you from moving forward. And it's something that you had to go and figure out. And like, how did you do that?
That is, well, I'm thinking of a handful of different ways to answer that. Um, and I think it's actually kind of like in alignment with who, like, not just like who I am, but like who I'm becoming.
Mm, okay.
So those change, like those roadblocks and like disasters and stuff like that I had to overcome in the past, they're like still like shaping who I am and who I am becoming.
Mm.
And so I think like the immediate things that pop into my head are like, a couple years ago, I was in a motorcycle accident, right? And I went down on a motorcycle I had just bought 2 weeks prior. Not my own fault. I was going straight through my green light, and was somebody who probably shouldn't have been driving. They were a little older. The sun had just gone down. They ended up cutting across my path as I was going through the intersection. So I had to ditch the bike, go left, went down, shattered my shoulder,
Oh my God.
proximally for any of the health nerds, like proximal dislocation means that like people usually pop their shoulders out this way. Mine went out backwards. Disgust, like, oh, I get grossed out by it just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I got a gnarly scar and like a titanium plate and like 13 screws up in the shoulder right now from a motorcycle accident. But like what it took for me to get to a place where I was healed and functional, like there was a few months where like I couldn't lift my arm above here, like not above my shoulder. Um, I was like John McCaining it with everybody. Just
Again, I love you, Jimmy.
so
Oh gosh.
so now for anyone watching the video cast here, I can get my arm above my head. I can like touch my ear. Like I'm at like 98% mobility here. There's just some like little funky stuff. I have a slap tear up in there with the labrum, and the people who know what that means will know what that means. But it's just basically it's not the same anymore. And so I had to go through like grueling PT to get over that. Like worked so hard on that, and I was so determined that like I'm not going to get stuck here. Like this isn't the new reality. Like I'm getting back. I tried to get back to the old reality, but I ended up having to accept that new reality of like 98%. And
Mm.
it's tough, and it still kind of like weighs on me a little bit, but like, yeah,
Why?
I'm sorry.
Why? What's the
It was
difference
like,
between
felt like,
98 and 100%?
um, this arm could like hold my kid out like this if I needed to. This arm couldn't. It's like, so mobility is strength at all ranges of motion. So like if I'm back here holding a weight, like
Yeah.
it's not as strong as if I'm like here holding a weight. Joint stacking, there's like all these different factors that go into it, but like it's just not. I was whole and complete, like with my body and my strength and capabilities and stuff like that. And now I'm like a little not.
Mm.
So it's tough because it's like you can't do anything.
Okay, but why?
Labrums don't heal. Connective tissue
Okay,
in
but
the
this is what I'm talking about. Why does that bother you? I'm just curious.
because I can't go backwards. There's no fixing it. And I'm usually somebody who can fix things. And this is
Mm.
something that I cannot.
Ah, ah,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Okay, that makes sense though, because the identity piece. I mean, Tony Robbins talks about that, right? But like
Yeah.
identity, it's like so strong. It's like what you just said. It's like I'm usually someone that can fix things,
Yeah.
which is what makes you so good at the things that you do. Like I
Right.
do a little bit of everything because you fix things, right?
Yeah.
That's super interesting. Because like, dude, I've got like I don't know, I broke my wrist and I don't know, I messed up my shoulder, not like that or anything like that. But I'm like, that never crossed my mind, right? And it's so interesting how
Does
those.
it like debilitate you in any way, or is it just it broke at one point and you're good now?
Um, I don't have full range back. Like, I mean, it's, but
Yeah.
nothing like
Mhm.
I'm sure maybe in an extreme circumstance, like it would go,
Mhm.
guess, but like
Yeah.
98%, I mean, it's probably not quite as bad as yours, but like my point is that it never even crossed my mind,
Right.
right?
Right.
You know, type of deal.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because like my thing was always like, because I was insecure, like the worst thing in the world that could have possibly happened to me was having to get glasses. I had to get glasses at one point. Like I was basically like, my life is over, right? And it was because like for me, like insecure, I was like, I didn't feel accepted as it was anyway, right? I'm like, then you like put ugly glasses on me, and I'm like, it's just basically a death sentence, right? But like if you put on glasses, I think you wear glasses sometimes, don't
I
you?
do, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like you probably never even cross your mind, right?
Yeah, I prided myself in not having to wear glasses until I was about 23 years old. But yeah, it was like working online and always looking at a screen like, 2 or 3 feet away from your face, and like your eyes are always fixed right here, and then all of a sudden like everything else around you is really fuzzy, and it's like, "Oh, what the heck happened?" Like
Yeah.
everything was really good and now it's not. But
Mm.
uh,
That's super interesting, dude. Though that's in because like that. But like this is what I'm talking about when I'm like I want to get to like know you, like I want to understand because like that one thing of like like we would have never talked about that on the podcast if had we not gone that right. But like that that tells someone so much about you as a person, right? And you can learn so much about it because I bet you like now I'm gonna start whenever we hang out I'm gonna be like I'm gonna see what he's fixing now, right? Like just as an observation, like not actually, but you know what I mean, right? It's gonna pop up. But how do you like
that's a good question, by the way.
what?
What is he fixing now?
What is he fixing now? What are you fixing now, right now? Like
Um, I so
besides single-handedly saving ClickFunnels from, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just
no,
kidding. I'm
nothing
kidding.
like
I'm
that.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Um, it's funny. It was the sessions with like Andy Elliott and Myron Golden, stuff about how I relate to myself and how I relate in my marriage and how I relate to my kids, and then to the company, and like my agency doesn't have any employees right now. I like contract out and stuff, but like how I show up and serve them on different projects, and then like customers, and like I'm realizing that there's like a few things that are broken that start here. Technically that start here. I think I've got like dopamine issues,
Mm,
because I've had a really hard time feeling joy
mm,
recently. I've been
interesting.
stuck in robot mode. Like, I'll put it this way. I'm very privileged to like we're here at FHL,
Yeah.
and last night I accepted a 2 Comma Club award for helping one of my clients get to $1 million.
Congratulations.
Yeah, clap,
Yeah.
clap,
Yeah.
clap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. And it was like it was fun getting up on stage and people are happy for you. So I'm like, oh, people are happy for me, but like I wasn't happy for myself.
Mm. What did you feel?
Nothing.
Interesting.
And I've been trying to like joke it off and play it off like, guys, it's just a thing. Like, it's just money. Like, money's not that important. Like all this stuff, and like, I'm really getting to the point where I'm kind of concerned. Like, I'm having a hard time feeling joy or like meaning and things like that. So the fix that I need right now is actually like
Hmm.
get back to being a human again.
Yeah.
Stop being
But
that
that is human, bro. That's what like, but that, and like, that's why I think what makes, what was the name of your podcast again?
better
Better
humans.
humans. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But, right. Better humans. And it's like, human is that. Like, dude, Jesus wept. He knew what it was like to be tired, right? He went through like the emotions of things. And I know we share very similar religious beliefs. And like, when you talk about like better, like being human, like, dude, I hate people, bro. I have to love them because Jesus loved them. And like, no offense to anybody else, but I'm like, relationships are hard. And yet, guess what? Like, that is where I find that's my literal business is networking and like being with people and investing in them and understanding them, right? And it's like that is messy, and the more you deal with messy people, the more you realize you're messy, and it's like that is humans, right? Like that's what it means. And I mean, like, if you've ever wanted, I'm sure you pondered, what does it mean to be human, right? Big philosophical question. But right, but like I think that you go through these stages, and yeah, I think you'll relate to so many more people because I guarantee you're not the only one. Like, bro, you know how many
No, I
people
know
have,
I'm not the only one because
yeah.
everyone's got a social media addiction. Everyone wakes up and goes straight to their phone, which, by the way, I wake up and go straight to my phone because anxiety. It's literally a form of anxiety because my brain starts going like thinking, planning, plotting, analyzing like what's going on, what's the day, what's the calendar, what do I need to prepare for, what's coming up, what's tomorrow, where are my clients at, what do they need to prepare for. I think on behalf of them so that they can show up and succeed. And that is all like pretty sure like when I talked about this with a faith-based counselor, which
Yeah.
by the way, that's another form of me overcoming stuff was like going through faith-based counseling. I've had a personal transformation in like all the different core markets, and it's something I love to talk about. But like
That's so
to get
cool.
back on it, like um, every like I'm not. I know that there's other people that are experiencing this because
Yeah.
like I'm not special. I'm
Mm.
not different. I'm probably like a lot of other people, and that's why I know that like this is fixable.
Ah,
This is something that we can get in and like
interesting.
address.
Interesting. Okay. So, gosh, that's so interesting. So the like you're a husband, yes? And you're a husband, you're a father, you are a provider, you are like you have clients. And do you think that some of it is just like, dude, being a man is just hard? Because guess what? You got shit to do. Like you got responsibilities. And like it is your job to lead and hold your family together. And guess what? Then you add coaching on top of that, which is basically the hardest thing, like the hardest industry in the world to like keep being, sanity, right? So like, do you go through seasons, do you feel like, where it's like, yes, it's overwhelming or whatever sometimes. And like sometimes you wake up and you're like, you know what, it's a lot, but I'm filled with purpose. And sometimes you're like, I feel nothing. And then sometimes you're like, everything is working and it's on top of the world. And then some seasons, like, is it a season that, like, do you think, or do you go
It's
through
definitely
seasons like that?
yeah. There's seasons, cycles, however, like whatever labels you want to put on it, but like it's really interesting because there's times where it's like, okay, we cracked the code, we made the change, and now like, okay, we're making money, and it's like we got some breathing room. Now that I have the breathing room, let me work on my relationships.
Yep.
And it's like, no, like you had it backwards, and
Ah,
I like I'm saying that now in with like mental preparation that like I have to start flipping some stuff on its head.
ah, dude, that's like, dude, you're 30 and you're figuring this. Some people never figure this out, right? And
Well, it's
like,
my job to figure this out.
that's my point right there. And that's what it means to be not only a human, but that's what it means to be a man. That's what it means to take responsibility. Because guess what? A majority of men, and yes, every man that's watching this right now, a majority of us are pieces of shit. We are lazy. We do not take responsibility for our lives. We don't lead our families. We don't do what is required of us, right? And it's like, guess what? You're doing it. And like that's what men are supposed to do. That's what we're been called to do. And like it's not always pretty. But my point is that right there, like this whole conversation, I feel like is why, like when I remember sitting down with you and like helping you with your offer and stuff and asking you about the different types of funnels and asking you about your solutions and things. Cause I'm like all principle, right? But I'm also very observational when it comes to what people are drawn to because there's a reason for that, right? And everything, you always kept coming back to the community element, right? It was very obvious. And it was like people needed to be together, right? And it was like you couldn't, he's like, you can't leave them alone. You can't leave them alone. You can't leave them alone. And when I observed that, and then like, you ultimately came to the what you have now, it's like this conversation is what brought that, right? Because like it's like it's hard to do it alone. Like it's hard, you need that support. Like you need those people around you. And if we as entrepreneurs and we as leaders can go and we can if you can help people like that create communities so that people like you and I don't have to do it alone, like talk about being a better human and impact, bro. There you go. Like that's crazy. So I appreciate you sharing that. I really, really
Yeah,
do.
that's
Yeah.
that's what we're doing.
Yeah. That's good. That was good stuff. Okay. What is your wife like? How is your wife? What's your relationship like? What is your wife's relationship with your work like? Like, is she understanding of it? Like, does she get it, or is she completely disconnected from it and just like supportive, or like, what's that
No,
dynamic look
dude,
like?
okay, so she's like the most supportive person in the entire world. So like you and I started working together on stuff and like it was dude, I remember it. Like it was like Saturday or something like that. And we're driving to like an hour to go do a thing like with family and some friends and we're literally in the car like listening to you talk and like we get done like she's like listening to our like recorded conversation and she goes, "Okay, so you're doing this." And I was like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank God. Like she's not the person who like holds money by the leash.
Yeah.
Actually, I could probably learn a thing or two from her about devaluing money and
Yeah.
like
Same.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So she's super supportive and she's kind of like in it too. She really cares like she cares about what I care about,
Mm.
which is massive because the things that I care about are like making better humans.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
dude, she's like, I don't know. She's really, really good with stuff like this.
And like a mother, right? Like, dude, I'll tell you, my understanding of reality changed, right? Like watching my wife be a mom. Like, I'm like, oh, like I knew men and women were different, right? Like the obvious. But then it was like, oh, there's like legit, like we're literally wired differently. And it was like so cool to be able to watch like the dynamic of like teamwork and working together. And like teams is something I struggle with. Man.
Do you
Like,
want to know one of the craziest things that I just learned about this? So like I'm in Golden Mike, I'm launching a podcast,
yeah.
and I said, okay, my first episode that I'm going to record is with my wife. So when it launches, it will be me and my wife sitting down talking and going over this like our lives and our mission, where we're going, like what our life is like right now. It's literally like a little time capsule, like a stamp of like where things are at and what's going on. So our little baby James, she's with him practically all the time. And we were talking about like motherhood and where things are at. And um, so she's describing to me like what goes on every day because what as a man and a dad, I get back from work, I get back from the office, and I come home and I'm like, okay, flip the switch, dad mode. And so I walk in and I show up and I'm like, energy, entertainment, fun, play, excitement. Like you should be like, dad's home. All right, we're rocking and rolling. Like it's playtime.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like what it's like for her in the day to like day to day. And she's like, oh, I do this, and like I like help build his self-worth, and I help him like I help with his education, and I help build his dignity. And I stopped and I was like, explain that to me. Like what does that mean? It's like, well, like he makes effort to do things, and like not the fact that he accomplished something or like achieved something, but the fact that he tried something, like help build his dignity, like good effort,
Mm.
good try, like
Yeah.
and she's like, I help him build his dignity and build his self-worth. And I was like, I had no idea
Yeah.
you
How did
were
you know that? Right. Yeah.
I had no
Yeah.
idea you were doing, like, why is
Yeah.
that even on your radar? It's nowhere near on my radar.
Mm.
I've got 4,000 things on my radar, and that was off in like area 51, like
Yeah.
untouchable.
Yeah.
And she was like, she was a little like awestruck, but like, how are you not? How is that not on your radar? Like, how do you not want to build this person up?
Yeah.
Like, well, of course I want. Like, of course I want to build him up, but
Right.
like, I'm not here. You know, like I
Mm.
can't. And so, um, that podcast episode, when by the way, go subscribe to Better Humans.
Yeah.
There's my plug.
Yeah.
Um,
Do it, dude. Bro, this podcast is going to change. Yeah. It's going to shake some stuff up. Let's go.
I'm excited. This is
Yeah.
gonna be really good.
What is the drop? Do you have a date?
What was that thing that I agreed that I would do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Launch
It'll be
it.
launched by the time this one's up. So go subscribe. Yeah. I'll give you a shroot buck.
Uh,
Um, I want to flip the script a little bit though. I want to change directions because like I really appreciate you opening up about it. Right. I think this is really, really powerful. And I think a lot of people will relate. But now I want to know like I want to know where you crush. Like I want to know what you do great.
where I do great.
Yeah, like I want to know where you like I want to know where you're like, hey, like yes, these are some shortcomings, like great, cool, but like now the reverse. Like where do you just win? Right?
I win inside of an impossible time constraint.
Mm.
So, okay, I can't say what the project is. I can like briefly describe it. There's a cool new tool coming to the marketplace
Alright.
that's going to help people build e-commerce store solutions like that.
Nice.
So, obviously, a good amount of work goes into the back end of that. And we were trying to hit like not an impossible deadline, but like a like deadline. Um, and so plugged into the back end of all this stuff is in ClickFunnels, like we have the capability now to build frameworks, and they're not just like share funnels. You don't just share like the funnel and its contents, but you share like the automations that go with it, like the emails that go with it,
Yeah.
and like the tagging and the segmentation, and like all like anything that you've built inside of the ClickFunnels account can get built like bunched up into a link, and you can share it with somebody, and they get your framework, not
Oh,
just your
cool.
funnel.
Yeah.
So on the tail end of that, I think in about 48 hours time, I ended up building 96 frameworks into the back end of this solution. And I was like, man, with the right like drive and motivation and excitement for something, I just did that in 48 hours. Like your stuff. Like when we were working on some stuff and you were like, oh no, like this launch is coming and like I need it fixed. And I'm
Yeah.
like, your launch is coming, I got you.
Yeah.
Impossible deadline,
Right.
huge task. Like I thrive under pressure.
Yeah.
Um,
Because you fix things.
because I fix things.
Yeah.
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 So I know that's not like I don't like crush it like slam dunks or like it's not like a tangible thing.
No,
Like
but right, but that's where you win though, right?
yeah, I win under pressure.
Yeah. That's good. But like, and not everyone has that, and not everyone. Yeah, that's interesting, huh? Man, I don't know if I've ever asked myself that question. That's good. Hmm. Hmm. Man, I've learned so much about you. No wonder you're a good funnel builder, and you've worked with Russell and Todd, which I'm sure is.
A long time ago, I was Russell's funnel builder apprentice, I guess. I don't know. Like funnel builder assistant, I think is what it was. So this is like pre Nick Sanders, pre Steve Larson. Um I just like I was basically in there like I wasn't good. Like there wasn't like a good reason for Russell to hire me, but it was shortly after I had landed that $1,800 unlimited funnel. And so basically that guy was like a subcontract out of Universal Studios and they were building all of these like exercise programs. So I ended up building like a Pilates and a plyometrics and a abs and like all these different like pages for people to opt in and like receive this training that people wanted, I guess.
Yeah.
It was all around fitness.
Yeah.
So I showed him some of the funnels that I built and he was like, "Do you want to like help me?" I was like, "Yeah, I want
Yeah.
to help
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely I do." Um, so that basically started it. And like that is when you sit down with somebody whose art, his craft, his life is this, and all of a sudden like you just jumped into like a rushing whitewater rapid, like that's not you're not even drinking from the fire hose, which is what a lot of people say. Like they
Yeah.
hear Russell talk from stage, it's like drinking from the fire hose because he goes so fast. Like you see how that man works.
Yeah.
And
That's
like
like going over Niagara Falls with him.
yeah, it's his vigilance
Yeah.
that is like you can't outwork Russell. You
Mm.
can't outwork Todd. You cannot outwork them.
Interesting.
Your only hope is to try and keep up.
And like you've bought into that, or you've got to experience that.
Yeah,
Ah,
firsthand.
that's really, really
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so what does the next 20 years look like for you?
That's a really good question
Like,
because
yeah.
okay, well, do you have any context on that or like
No, I just mean like I think that just off of this conversation, but based on how well I know you already, it's like I know you've thought about it, right? Right? Like what it like you have a vision of roughly, and it's gonna change a million times, but
I actually have a hard time seeing outside of 5 years.
okay.
And there's a like I've talked to so many people, they're like, you need to have your 10-year plan. You need to have your 20-year plan. I'm like, that's stupid. I've been in a motorcycle accident. I almost had a 0-year plan. Like, it's not stupid. I won't call it stupid, but
Yeah.
like, you don't know what bus is flying at you tomorrow, too. Like,
Yeah.
you can plan as much as you want. What was the quote? Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Who's that? Mike Tyson?
yeah,
Yeah, something like that.
yeah. I think it was Mike Tyson
So
or Mike Tyson
no, Rocky, right?
or Floyd Mayweather. I don't know. It was
I don't
one of
know.
them.
It was one of the boxers,
Yeah,
right? Everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I do have a rough like 5-year plan that is like some tangibles, some tacticals, some tangibles. Um, but like 20 years, that's out there, man. So like what? I'll be 50.
I just mean like so how I think about things is I go like how like it's like trajectories, right? So play it
Yeah.
out. And I go, all right, well if I know that if I play out my marriage, does it end in destruction or does it end with us falling more and more and more in love over time, right? And like based on my actions today, I can kind of project that out.
Yeah.
And like as you get more new data in, right? Like you're going to constantly update those things, right? But like Jimmy, before he knew how to be a workhorse and like see the like pressure under deadlines and see Russell and Todd and all that, right? You probably look in the future and like on this trajectory, I would have, you know what I mean? And so like for me, like I know that on current trajectory, I will have this in 20 years, right? And I will be having conversations just like this, right? And I will be right? Like leading and learning from the front and making mistakes publicly and like, and you will never ever like I will never publicly like not say the name of Jesus. Like I'll own him whatever, and I will love my wife, and I will like that. Like I know that, and I will lead organizations, and I will be like I just know that that's the trajectory, right?
Yeah.
And so the trajectory between now and then is I'm gonna be like I'm never gonna not or do something that's gonna prevent me from learning and executing those things, right? That's all I'm like that kind of trajectory, right? So for you, like, what do you see?
I've always so very similar to like what you're saying. I've always known that I will be working, and like I have a really hard time imagining like a life of retirement. Um, so I'll like as long as I can make a change or an impact in somebody's life, I'll be working because to me, working is helping,
Yeah,
and I help
I don't
people.
know. Another identity piece. All right. Oh, and I don't know, like, what else would you do besides work?
I dude. Okay, so like love axe throwing. I love wakeboarding. I love. Uh, I used to do like Muay Thai and kickboxing. I haven't done that in a hot minute, but I used to love riding motorcycles.
Yeah.
Um, which is funny because my wife, like, speaking of supportive, like, she was sending me Facebook Marketplace for like different bikes. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, dude, the shoulder's still like, I don't know, whatever.
It's still 2% not healed, wife.
Yeah.
And it's gonna drive me crazy for the rest of my life.
It probably will. I'm
I
not.
know it will too. It's so funny to me. And not funny, but like it's so like that's so perfectly, but no, it's so perfectly, but it's like beautiful in the way because it describes you, dude. Like it's like that. It's like the beauty and the imperfection things. It's like, dude, the more you study Jesus, the more you're like, everything we think we have is like all backwards. And then you look at him, and you're like, ah. And it's like the imperfections and the things like those are part of the things that like bring out your character and like how you're gonna do things. And like it's just crazy because like you having those things, like we found out that you fix things and that you help people, right? And it's like this whole conversation could be summed up in those two phrases. But if you did not listen to this conversation, right? And you walked up to someone and like, I fix things and I help people.
They're like, great, you have a mechanic shop? Like,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
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 So, all right. Well, dude, this has been fun. We're gonna have to do a part 2, a follow up, and like check in 6 months or a year and see how the podcast is doing too. Because I'm excited to see where you take that, and I'm really excited to listen from your wife, like that episode, that first one.
The first one it's gonna be good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. For those that want to connect with you, in whatever capacity that looks like, what's the best way to do that?
So I'm on Facebook and I am pretty responsive on Messenger, which is their like message platform. And also the podcast we're launching, you're gonna see like the tool we use. There's like a little embed feed. I'm gonna put it at betterhumans.show. So you can follow the podcast there. You can go add me on Facebook, shoot me a message or something like that. I'm facebook.com/Jimmy James Allen.
Sweet. And we'll link that down below in the show notes as well. So you can click on that. If anyone needs funnel course community, like if you need just someone that knows what they're doing, I could not endorse or recommend him enough. He's been worth every single penny and more. So don't think twice. Jimmy, thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate it. Let's do a couple rapid fire questions, wrap it up here, and then we got a party to get to. Our party, my party,
yeah,
right? Or our meetup.
Hey,
yeah.
I hear it's classy to be late to your own party.
Okay, yeah. Shout out Joshua and Kevin for that crazy excuse. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for being there early, guys. All right, so rapid fire questions. People are gonna listen to this interview, and it's gonna be really important that there's context that we are at FHL and there's a lot going on right now. What's one book that you are either currently obsessed with or you think that every entrepreneur should read?
It's not a. Why you put the caveat of every entrepreneur should read? Okay, every entrepreneur must read Think and Grow Rich. You must read that book. You must also read Expert Secrets.
All right, I'm with you on the Expert Secrets one for sure. I mean, I've read Think and Grow Rich too, but
like I don't care who you are. I own a laundromat. Like I don't care. You must read Expert Secrets.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. What's one bucket list item you want to do before you die?
Aurora Borealis.
Oh, all right. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What is or who is one like influential figure that you want to meet before you die?
Josh Forti. Just kidding. Wait, no.
Oh man.
Okay.
We've already met me, so we'll let it slide.
Yeah. For sure. influential figure that I want to meet before I die. Dude, I want to answer Tony, but like I met Tony, but I love to like meet Tony more. Is that weird? Like,
No, I get it. But you met
um,
him.
okay, so if not him, either Musk or Trump.
Yeah.
Musk or Trump, dude. Like, I need to like be able to like look both of them in the eye and just say thank you
Yeah.
for like all the shit they get and
Yeah.
how many
All the
arrows
time.
get
Yeah.
flung at them like all
Yeah.
the time, dude. It
Yeah.
sucks. It sucks because they're trying to do the right thing and
Yeah.
the right thing according to them, and it's not the right thing according to everybody.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
I'd love to just meet them and just shake their hand and say thank you.
Yeah. I want to meet Musk just so I know he's real. I'm like,
You're
are
gonna check
you?
for a chip somewhere.
Like, bro, I'm just like,
You
it
know
doesn't make sense,
you
dude.
know he's Neuralinked. You know he
I'm just
is.
like, dude, the guy's sending rockets to Mars and saving free speech and like balancing the US government and gutting the government on like as a side hustle. You know what I mean? And it's like, how? I've seen Trump. I went to one of his rallies, so I know he's real. But okay, cool. And then final question would be, we used to ask on Think Different Theory, we used to ask that like end of your life, you're on your deathbed, like parting wisdom. I want to make it today, like applicable. So, what's one actionable thing that people can do that will dramatically increase quality of life today? Like,
Change is macro or micro. So down to holding a door for somebody, um, or like making the decision to tithe or donate or like bake philanthropy and charity into your business. Like obviously that's like okay, that's macro, that's a long time over scale. It'll like ongoing, like build massive change and impact. But like, dude, even down to giving somebody a smile, like that you never know what that person is going through. And so if they just know that like somebody saw them today and smiled, that might prevent them from doing something that can't be undone.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Um,
powerful.
I was in the elevator, and the reason, one like a huge reason why I do what I do, like a lot of people ask me like, why do you still work at ClickFunnels? Is like, dude, this is the epicenter of like amplified change, impact, and transformation. This is the
Yeah,
epicenter of it.
yeah,
And there's this woman, like we're strollering our baby to go like to the award ceremony and everything. She's on her crutch walker, and she's got a little sign in the front. She's like something about Google reviews. Like she wants to help people like
yeah,
get better Google reviews or something. She's got her call to action and a QR code. And we're talking, and she's like, well, people are gonna look at me anyways. I might as well do something with that attention. And I was like, dear God, we made ClickFunnels for you,
yeah,
for you.
yeah,
Like the least of these
yeah,
is who we made ClickFunnels for.
yeah.
And that's everything to me.
That's so powerful. Well, with that, I can't think of a much more powerful way to end that. So, thank you for your time, dude. Thank you,
Yeah.
seriously. Go follow him, guys. If you are new here, consider subscribing. If you have been here for a while, thank you. Appreciate it. Um, hustle, hustle. God bless. Get paid. Be free. See you next time. Peace.